Welcome to Sculpture Studios, another project here for the band Iron Maiden. We've received a commission from our contact from Hangman, Sam Booker, for Iron Maiden's 2018 tour, Legacy of the Beast. We've worked with Sam for many years now, and we're glad to work with him once again on one of his final projects with the company. This is before he moves on to a different avenue in life, so thank you very much, Sam, for coming back to us one last time. The brief is for 2 stone gargoyles, one male and one female, about a metre tall. These are going to be carved from polystyrene with a blanket coat of glass fibre, cleaned up, textured and artworked. These are going to be comparatively small sculptures next to everything else going on the stage, and these are just to add extra decoration. Knowing Iron Maiden, the whole theming will be a real spectacle for the fans, as every single show we've created for in the past has always been. Judging by the variety of older projects in the background, you can see these were created a little while ago, and we're only releasing the video at this point in time, now that everything to do with the show is out on the road, so we don't steal any thunder. Starting with a block of polystyrene, the shape is mapped out onto a grid where we've blown the image up to the correct proportions. The cubist form is cut using a hot wire table, and this gives us a very rough shape to start working from. Using a range of tools here in the studio, from saws to nail brushes, wire brushes, rifflers and sandpapers, Aden begins to carve the model of the first gargoyle figure. To adhere different elements like the wings and the head onto the rest of the body, we're using a PU expanding foam. Probably the messiest material in the workshop, this does a great job at joining the different polystyrene pieces together, and it allows us to remove items to work on separately and reattach them again afterwards if needs be. For areas like the face here, once the main bulk has been carved using wire brushes, stonemason rifflers are used for the finer detail. Any detail that can't be achieved in polystyrene, we're going to model up these areas in clay later on. Once we're happy with the polystyrene form, a sticky back tinfoil is applied onto the sculpture, and this creates a protective barrier between the polystyrene and the resin and fiberglass going on top. To ensure that there aren't any breaches and the resin doesn't melt any of the polystyrene away, we need to make sure that every square inch of the sculpture is completely covered. So here we have Aden doing a bit of laminating on the male figure.
Here we are, in the blue is all the male. There's subtle differences, like the horns are different, the wings are up higher. The female's got some more breast areas, which is quite nice. I won't even say that quite. Yeah, and straight horns and the wings are more upright position. I thought we'd get one done first so we can see the whole process and see how it develops. Now I think I'll leave somebody else to carry on with the fiberglass in this while I carry on with the carving of the next one. But this is what we're doing.
If anything, it's easier to carve the first one because the second one is the challenge to get it to look exactly the same as the first,
yeah.
apart from the subtle differences.
The fiberglass, which is pre-wet, we drape it over the foil, and it takes a while, it takes a few minutes to wet out, but once it does, all the fiberglass breaks down, and then we can pat it down and make sure that we lose all the air holes in the glass fibre, and it's as tight as it can be. You've got to keep going over again and again just to make sure it's as tight to the job, so we don't lose any of the sculpture detail. And after this, once it's all hardened and gone lovely, we texture it and we artwork it to make it look like sandstone.
Once we've gone over with a strong layer of glass fibre, the surface is then cleaned up, removing any flash material and making sure the gargoyles are safe to touch. Oh, speaking of gargoyles, here's Rocky right on cue. We then go over with a liquid resin and filler mix, and we've added a brown pigment into this to give the sculpture a nice base colour for the artwork. Though these are going to be seen from the stage or from an audience's point of view, and so such fine detail might not be necessary, it's always important for us to follow the client's brief and to create these in such a way that these are appropriate if they're ever wanted to be used or displayed again. Details like the teeth are being modelled up in clay, and this will then be covered and artworked like the rest of the sculpture. Hey Kieran, can you gargoyle some of that? Aden's now going over with paints and a theatrical splatter technique. This works great for stone-like effects, like the red stone on our Welsh dragon, or the mossy grey stone for our rock caving tunnel. These gargoyles are super lightweight, contrasted to how heavy they look, and they're easily manoeuvrable for one person to handle. But care also needs to be taken, so we've had flight cases made up for transportation, as well as for these to be brought on tour with the band. We've grabbed a few shots online from the 2018 tour over the summer, and as expected, Iron Maiden haven't held back, as they never do, and the stage is a spectacle in itself. The Legacy of the Beast tour, we wish the very best of luck, not that Iron Maiden need it with such a following, and we look forward to creating sculpture for them for any shows or tours to come. Thanks once again to Sam Booker for including us in one of his final projects with Hangman after all these years, and good luck in your future endeavours too. Please feel free to leave any comments below, as they're always appreciated, and hit the subscribe button for our latest videos. You can like Sculpture Studios on Facebook and follow @Aden Hynes on Twitter, and for more of our work, visit sculpturestudios.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching.